Ooh. This took a pot shot there. Greetings and welcome back, gentlemen and ladiesmen, to another exciting episode of Exo Plays Super Mario 64 DS. I took a quick break here, but now I'm back, and we're ready to record some more Marion. Remember how I said we're gonna be fighting Big Boo more than once? Well, here's time number 2. I don't know, it's just like... the way I used to put this is, a lot of later 3D Mario games have this issue with filler, where they'll basically make you replay stuff over and over again, you know what I mean? And I used to think of Super Mario 64 being like, kind of the exception to the rule insofar as there's more original content to play. But when you stop and think about it, this game has less less square feet of level design than later games, and even then, it still feels the need to recycle bosses a billion times. Like, we're gonna be fighting the same giant bully boss multiple times, we're gonna be fighting Bowser 3 times, we're gonna be fighting this guy 3 times. Later Mario games have the same problem with recycling bosses, like, even Odyssey does that shit. You have to fight the Brutals like 3 times a piece, you have to fight Bowser twice, actually I think technically 3 times, maybe. I can't remember exactly. You have to fight Madame Brutal twice, you have to fight Torque Drift twice, you have to fight... God, what was it? Kukateel twice, you have to fight everybody twice. And then you play Sunshine, you gotta fight Petey Piranha 3 times, you gotta fight Goober Blooper, actually Petey Piranha twice, Goober Blooper 3 times. You have to fight like 5 of those polluted piranha mini-bosses. It's just like they keep doing this in these Mario games, and it's just, I really don't understand why they do that. Like, the Galaxy games are probably the least guilty of that. Like, even Super Mario 3D World recycled bosses. Like, you have to fight Motley Boss Blob twice. A Secret of the Haunted Book. So here's... Before I continue with that rant, you guys can see over here that there is... That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to go through this door right here above the piano room. You guys can see that there's this glass case surrounding the balcony with the star in it. That was not there in the original version. So, if you were able to pull off a trick jump, you could actually skip this section altogether. And that was one of the speedrunning pro strats that my brother showed me earlier. So, here we've got a little puzzle. I believe it is the middle one, the left one. No, it's actually not. Okay. Middle, right, left. Which is... I think that's that big-nosed guy from Flower Fields and Paper Mario, that one flower guy who has like the buck teeth. Pretty sure that's the order he tells you to hit the trees, but he's like a little goofball and he lies to you, so... For some reason, right, left, middle, I always remember because of that guy. And whenever right, left, middle is the puzzle order for whatever reason in some game, that usually comes to mind. But anyways, let's go ahead and pop in here. Big Boo's balcony. We're gonna be fighting Big Boo a 3rd time. Guys, was this not getting the least bit old? It's like, at least when they brought back Petey Piranha and Goober Blooper, they tried to make it kind of harder, you know what I mean? Like, with Petey Piranha, he starts flying around, then you have to knock him out of the sky, whereas with Goober Blooper, the second time you fight him, it's in a more cramped space that makes him harder to fight. Let's go rescue Luigi right now. I just feel like it, so... Uh-oh, I recognize that laugh.
Big Boo's haunt. There are no exits. You may as well wander in here forever. Listen carefully. Can you hear me? If you find me, your history. I
don't know if that's what King Boo is supposed to sound like, but yes, it is indeed. They call him Big Boo, but clearly it is supposed to be King Boo from Luigi's Mansion. Just like how Goomboss is for some reason not called the Goomba King in this version of the game, despite clearly being the Goomba King. Now, once again, there are 2 stars we can get here, but unfortunately, we need to have unlocked Luigi and Wario to get all of them. So we'll have to come back once we've unlocked all the characters, and then we can play this all the way through. So we're already done with this level. Alright, and much like with usual boos, they make you run around until the boss feels like popping up.
I am Big Boo, the spookiest of all the spirits. I locked up the wimpy green mustache man, and I'll do the same to you. Since I'm a ghost, I can turn invisible in the mirror's reflection. You have to attack me from behind to defeat me. But you'll die of fright before that ever happens, and then you'll be one of us.
So once again, because this is a Boo, we can ground pound him. Never fails. I have tried fighting him the intended way, where you sneak up behind him and try to punch him, but I don't know, it doesn't really work well from my experience. And once again, I actually do think that the new bosses that they added to Super Mario 64 DS are much better than the original ones. Like, Goom Boss is a much more substantial enemy to face off with than, you know, any of the original bosses.
You can never really kill a ghost. We always come back. See you again.
I can do an okay King Boo laugh. But it's not as good as my Peg Leg Pete.
Pretty soon the underworld's gonna be standing room only. I'm gonna take over this here house of mouse.
I can do a pretty good Peg Leg Pete, but my King Boo's just okay. Anyways, with that, we can actually play as Luigi right now if we want to, but, you know, problem with that is that once you start playing with Luigi, you don't want to stop. So we're gonna keep playing as Mario in the meantime, just so I can show him off a little bit. The next tier of the game in the basement, I'm gonna be primarily playing as Wario for that, because that's where he does the most good. The problem with that is that you kind of have to go out of your way to unlock him early enough so that you can play those levels with him, and it's kind of like at that point you might as well just not use him, you know what I mean? But Wario can be very useful in Lethal Lava Land especially, so that's why, you know, for playthrough's sake of showing him off and for making the most use out of him, so to show what his strengths are, it's like we're fighting this fucking guy again. Like, the people who say that... Oops, I accidentally fell off. That's the first time I ever made that mistake, so I guess we're gonna go back up and fight him again. And no, that wasn't the new control scheme's fault, folks. That was my fault for not paying enough attention and jumping right off the ledge. It's not like I haven't had my share of mishaps with the original controls either. Like, I defend those. Oh, I guess he fully respawns with all health. So if you fall off, then you have to fight him all over again. Come here, bud. That's good King Boo. Or, I'm sorry, Big Boo. And then he makes the sound when you kill him. So, in the original version of the game, you had to, like, long jump over to that ledge over there and then run up the hill, but here they just give you a pea balloon to use instead. And it's much better. I'd much rather... Because, like, there's nothing more annoying than killing the boss and then missing that jump and having to climb all the way back up, so... I don't know, I just prefer the way that they handled it here. Anyways, it's another star in Big Boo's haunt down. Sorry. I know, and I can't remember... I think in the original version, the Big Boo that has, like, the gateway to the stage respawns whenever you get a star, but might be wrong about that. Okay, so we need Luigi to get the star, and because I was actually... I don't know, I can't remember if I said it in this session recording that I did or not, but at first the game makes it seem like you have to unlock all of the characters to make their caps appear, except Mario, because like in Bob-omb Battlefield, you can race with Koopa the Quick despite not having unlocked Mario yet. That's actually not true. It really is just level dependent. Like, this stage will have Luigi caps despite you not having rescued him, and Hazy Mazy Cave will have Wario caps despite you not having rescued him, so it has nothing to do with that. We'll talk more about Luigi's mechanics in a second, but the big takeaway you need is that his backflip completely destroys the level design in this game. It is so much fun. And I love that Luigi is my favorite character, if you hadn't figured it out already. Like, he just plays the best. The parts of the game that were really annoying in the original version are much more bearable with Luigi. Alright, so this is where the star is, and we need, essentially, the Vanish Cap to get in here. I guess you don't have to keep Luigi's cap in order to beat him, but it's like, at this point, you're stuck in here. If you're any other character using a transformation cap. But yeah, you need, and it's like I said, you know, these question blocks here give you power flowers, and the effect of that flower changes depending on the character that uses it. So you have to be Luigi to go through the wall to go fight the guy. So yeah, that's how that works. And how about that boss, by the way? That was literally the same thing as a regular Mr. I, so I don't know what the point of that was. We got one more, wait a minute. Yeah, we can't get that one without Wario, so we're gonna be skipping that for now. So, yeah, and I think we're gonna go get Luigi now, and go play as him for a little bit. It's, you know, it's about time. You might be wondering, you know, shouldn't there be little rodents hopping around this castle? And you'd be right. I'm actually saving them all for later, because it makes it easier to keep track of them, I guess. Because we're gonna have to be running all over hell in this, and I'm gonna be trying to show off at least some of the mini-games. But, you know, so anyway, we put the key on the door, and now we're playing as Luigi. And so, yeah. And it's like one of the reasons why I don't agree with the criticism of having new characters in and of themselves being bad, is because they all fundamentally control the same. Like, you have a triple jump, you can do a backflip, ground pound, you can do a side somersault, like all the characters can do these things. The only difference is that they have some specific abilities, like Luigi can scuttle jump and his backflip is broken as hell. Luigi can run on water too, like I'm not kidding. And to top, if that wasn't enough to make him the best character in the game, he can swim so much faster than everybody else. I'm not kidding. Like, watch the quick work he makes of this. Like, he seems to swim twice as fast as everybody else. Like, whatever you do not play water levels with Wario, ever. Wario swims so slowly that it makes these levels, like, unbearable to play as Wario. So do not play as Wario underwater. On the flip side of this, Luigi makes these stages go by so quickly. Like, look at how fast he swims. Like, I feel like it would take Mario twice as long to clear this level, and, you know, I appreciate that because swimming around slowly isn't something I particularly want to spend my time doing, so I appreciate having that option, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah. So, that last coin should be down here. But Luigi completely breaks the level design in this game in two, and he is by far the best character to play as. Yoshi has his advantages with the flutter jump and being able to lick stuff up, and, you know, like I said, if you do not like the other characters, despite them not being substantially different from each other, you know what I mean? It's like, Luigi can still do all the jumps and stuff that Mario can do, he can still pick people up and punch people and do the kick, and all that good stuff. He's just basically Mario, except better. So if you think that that's a problem, I just don't understand where you're coming from. I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be able to play as him, is what I'm saying. Anyways, we're gonna be doing the 100 coin star right now, and that's why I've been saving Jolly Roger Bay up until this point, is because I wanted to wait until we could play as Luigi. And make sure that you get these blue coins right off the bat, because they will get you quite a ways to 100 coins. Like, we're almost halfway there now, just from that one little step, so... And we'll go ahead and kill these Goombas real quick and grab their coins. I can't really see very well. And once again, that's not really like a Super Mario 64 DS problem, that's just a level design with the camera kind of issue, but... You know, regardless, but look at how far Luigi can go with this backflip. It is, like, absurd how overpowered Luigi is. And if you have a problem with that, you can still play as Mario for 90% of this game if you want. Like, once you get your 8th star and rescue him from Goombas, you can play as Mario for the rest of the game if you want. Like, if you're going for 100%, you will have to play as the other characters, but you can comfortably get to 70 stars and fight the final boss without Luigi or Wario. And I don't think that they force you to rescue him in order to access the final boss either. I might be wrong about that, and if I am, you don't have to kill me, Victor, I'm just saying. But it's just like, Luigi's so good that I don't care. Like, broken or not, whether he... Like, you should see the quick work he makes of some of the later levels in this game. It is, like, ridiculous. I love Luigi in this game. I really enjoy it. Like, this is the best he's ever played in a 3D Mario game, if you ask me. You know, part of the problem is that they make him so broken, but it's just like, usually when you play as Luigi in some of the other games, like if you're playing, for example, if you're playing with your annoying younger brother in Super Mario 3D World, and you're playing as Peach, who is the best character in that game, and someone is annoying the hell out of you by getting the crown in multiplayer, despite being an inferior player, yeah, and part of the problem there is, Luigi usually has, like, slippery physics. Like, usually he has, like, the worst traction of all the characters. But that's not really the case in Super Mario 64 DS. Luigi has the same traction as every other character, but he can jump higher and longer, he can run on water, he can swim faster, his backflip completely breaks the platforming in the best possible ways. It's like, a lot of what people like about the original Super Mario 64 is how you can do things in ways that the developers didn't necessarily intend. Like, you can... Like, for example, there's this one star in Hazy Mazy Cave where you have to, like, press an underwater switch to open a door. And you're supposed to grab a metal cap and run this gauntlet, but you can actually kick into a wall and push yourself into the switch that way, and do it faster that way. And there are a whole bunch of glitches and stuff, but I feel like Luigi is great in this game for kind of a similar reason. Like, because his platforming abilities are so great. Yeah, how about we'll pair this with star down here. Because as long as we're already over here, we might as well. So that's a switch star there, but you have to be Luigi with the Vanish Cap Power Flower ability in order to phase through this gate and grab the star, so... Yeah, I feel like Luigi is great in a similar way, because you should see how he can break some of the levels in this game. Like, his backflip especially completely destroys the level design. Like, for example, Wet Dry World, there's like a part where you have to shoot yourself out of a cannon to get to the little cage in the corner to get to, like, the lower city, downtown it's called. But if you're playing as Luigi, a well-timed backflip can get you into that cage without having to unlock the cannon or swim around. And Luigi can also get up to the higher levels without raising the water level, so that makes the elevator star... Like, there are so many applications of Luigi's jumps in this game. And it is completely ludicrous. In the best possible way, is what I'm saying. Like, maybe these would be considered negatives to some people. By the way, that's Unagi, I think, is what that eel is called. But look at how much faster Luigi can swim around than all the other characters in the game. But yeah, we have to trick Unagi the eel there from coming out. And the reason I remember his or her name is because there is a giant eel monster in Avatar: The Last Airbender that is also called Unagi. So once I found out that that's what the eel's called. By the way, they changed this star. There used to be a chest puzzle where you had to figure out the right order to unlock them. But in this game, you just unlock it, and then... I guess they wanted to put more focus in this platforming section, but once again, it's a platforming section that Luigi can basically skip entirely because he swims so fast. Maybe people consider Luigi too OP. Maybe people see this and it's like, look at how he completely can destroy certain things and say, like, this is too powerful. And, you know, it's just like, if you feel that way, you could still play as Mario. Mario is still in this game, you unlock him first. I mean, certainly the issue of the dominant strategy comes in, which is that if there is a way to do something really easily, then most players aren't going to go out of their way to make it harder for themselves, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just... most of the stuff that Luigi makes easier was like annoying or took too long in the original, so I'm completely fine with that. It looks like we got the Unagi down there, so we'll go grab the star real quick and then we'll call it apart. So here's what you gotta do here. You gotta bait Unagi out of the hole and then you just swim into the star right here. And that's all there is to it. This star used to take me forever as a kid because my brother and I were like scared shitless of this eel guy. Now I don't have to worry about that because, I don't know, Luigi swims faster so we can get that star easier. It's just, Luigi has so many applications. Like, he completely wipes the floor with every other character in this game. I cannot stress enough that Luigi is the dominant strategy. Play as Luigi. If you did not like the original game, if you thought some of the later levels were annoying, Luigi is your best friend. So, yeah. We'll talk more about that in the next part. So until then, I'm XO, and I'll see you guys next time.